All right, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome back. We are live and getting ready for our final game here at the 2024 WFTDA North America West Regionals. And we have a great game here. Both of these teams have already punched their tickets to Portland, but they're going to play now to see who takes the gold and who takes the silver. Will it be the Atlanta Roller Derby 30 South Derby Girls, or will it be Jacksonville's New Jax City Rollers? We're going to find out shortly. Welcome again. My name is P. Armageddon.
And I'm Scar Trek. Let's introduce these two teams.
Let's do that real quick. Starting off with the Atlanta Roller Derby 30 South Derby Girls in the white and red and black. 0300 Cancer Candy. 06 is Yamarillo. 1017 is Gucci Mame. 143 Ball of Shot Caller. 18 is Thump Her. 1962 Human Missile Crisis. 21 is Blackjack. 24 Guilty Pleasure. 242 R2 Death 2. 26 is Luna Crits. 31 is Erica Baduzzi. 33 Troublemaker. 333 Sweet and Sour. 4000 Great Wall of China. 454 The Merchant of Menace. 775 Prim Reaper, and 961 is Peace Corps.
And skating in black today for the Jacksonville New Jax City Rollers, it's number 03 Dizzy Izzy, number 111 Jamsterella, number 21 Coco Fry, number 235 Atomic Meltdown, number 27 Her Majesty, number 313 Sinner, 330 Buckeye Brawler, 357 Felony Fat Bottom, number 424 Zombie, number 6 Snot Rocket Science, number 62 Fancy Schmancy, number 77 Murph, number 8 La Maldita, number 814 Lemon, and number 9 Brats. Copyright. I like the copyright symbol in there. It's a fun touch. And let's talk about our officials as well.
Sure. Our NSO crew, headed up by Quick Grayson, Smutch, Wishbone Breaker, Caligori, Toxic Narcotic, Queen of Catitude, Troublemaker, Montana Malher, Doesn't Matter, Huggins, and Mother Flippin' Artist. And our referee crew is headed up by Refty Venture, Cataclysm, Shrimp and Roll, Illinois, Bionic, Gym Class Hero, Will Ryder, and Oh Yoshi Didn't.
Yeah. This is game number 16. We're playing for gold tonight,
We
PR.
are.
The number 1 seed Jacksonville taking on the number 3 seed Atlanta. There was an upset last night, in case you missed it. Atlanta taking the win over Texas. The score for that game, 138 to 105. So a close loss,
Yes.
an upsetting upset here in the venue.
It was a very emotional game in the venue here,
It
as you can imagine, being here in Austin.
Yeah. Jacksonville on Saturday played 2 games. They took a big win over Oklahoma City's Twister City Victory Squad, and also a pretty respectable win over Red Stick, who we just saw take a win over Texas. So the score on that game last night was 257 to 91. So super dominant in the tournament so far, showing their strength as the number 1 seed in the South region for the WFTDA.
As we said earlier, these two teams did punch their ticket. They were the last two to claim those last 2 spots for Portland. They will be there in early November to skate for championships. We were the final regional here in the whole regional ring, so we're kind of glad to bring it all home right here in this game. Like I said, they've already claimed their ticket to Portland, so we're just going to figure out now who goes as the official gold medal winner and who goes with the silver medal winner.
Yeah, we don't know too much about the championship seeding and bracket placement. We do know it'll be a 13-team and 16-game tournament in Portland in November, but we don't know exactly who's going to get a bye, if there will be byes, how those will be determined, whether rankings or placements. So a lot to be determined yet for the WFTDA, and we will, I'm sure, be hearing about it very soon after this tournament, the last regional.
I'm sure they're ready to go with that, hopefully, and we're all kind of waiting on bated breath over there. Our awesome producer extraordinaire, the one, the only Shady Hawkins, is going to be helping us out here today.
She's the best,
Shady
honestly.
is the best, I must say. Me and Shady have a thing. We've been doing this for about the same amount of time. We kind of came up together in the same region here, Texas and Southwest region. So Shady's my person in this derby world. So we are.
We might even hand her the mic during this call. Ooh. I don't know if she has something to say. We can.
That head should know really quickly. Here we go. Jam
underway.
Number 1. Yes.
Jamsterella has the star for New Jax City Rollers and Jaramillo for Atlanta.
Still tight knit pack coming right off the jam line here. Jamsterella going to reset back behind the jam line. Yamarillo is still trying to work through as well. Both jams. Oh, there is Jaramillo trying to get through on the outside. Get bumped out to the outfield by Murph. Meanwhile, we do have a lead jammer Trek.
That is Jamsterella for New Jax City Rollers coming around on a scoring trip right now. Atlanta's jammer still fighting through on that initial trip through the pack.
Amarillo working in the middle there on the inside. Meanwhile, Jamstrella able to skate through the inside as well. Picks up the first 4 points of the game.
A big bump at the top of the pack, but Atlanta Jammer makes it out of the pack as New Jack City's jammer Jamstrella comes around for points and a quick call off there.
Jamstrella using every inch of the outside of that turn 1-2 area to get those points and call it. So first 8 points of the game will go to New Jacks.
Something I noticed yesterday in Jacksonville's games is that they were very clean games. Not a whole lot of penalties for the New Jack City Rollers, just very practiced, careful, tactical gameplay. So I expect to see more of that from them. Atlanta, a really tough and physical team. Jacksonville, a little more agile, tough to disconnect from, on the defense. So kind of a clash of styles, really.
Exactly. We will see how it goes here. Lead jammer quickly here going to center for New Jacks. Merchant of Menace jamming for Atlanta.
Takes a big hit to the outside and a long run back, which is another thing we saw from Jacksonville in their games yesterday.
And we're still in that turn 1-2 area. Now we're center trying to go outside. Gets around the edge. Scoring pass complete.
Wow.
4 more points for New Jacks.
Huge hit at the front of the pack on center.
I believe that was Coco Fry, I believe, with the hit on center.
Coco Fry, the MVP from the semifinal game last night.
And center one more time around the outside. 4 more points, bringing Jacksonville to 16 as we skate. Merchant of Menace getting tangled up in that back wall set up by New Jacks. Just really, really tight, all over the place defense. It's kind of weird, tight but all over the place at the same time. Very sticky defense by both teams there.
Yeah. And a long run back now by number 775. That's Prim Reaper.
And then looks like a penalty picked up by Blackjack, so she would take a seat in that S1 penalty box.
Wow, sneaky on the inside line. Center makes it through for another scoring trip. 12 points on the jam so far, holding Atlanta scoreless.
Pack still not really getting a lot of motion altogether, but these jammers are still really furiously working around that pack. A center, once again, another pass, now putting up 16.
Atlanta trying to put together a defensive formation in the pack, getting really broken up by Jacksonville.
Merchant of Menace finally able to complete the initial pass as center going to go ahead and call it from the outfield, picking up, looks like 2 more points.
A huge jam for Jacksonville, 18 points, Atlanta scoreless. Wow, PR. That is a dominant way to start the game in jam number 2.
Yes. Will that be a precedent? We'll find out, but we still have a lot of time left in this game track. And we have really great jammer matchups throughout this game. Both of these teams have really impressive jammer rotations. And we're about to see 2 more of these excellent jammers right now when that whistle blows.
5-on-5 as we start jam number 3. Lemon has the start for Jax up against Peace Corps for Atlanta.
Lemon trying to go outside, but Atlanta shut the door very quickly. Meanwhile, Peace Corps still dug in the outside as well, and the inside. As Peace Corps around the edge, 1 blocker to beat, trying to get around Murph, does so, and lead jammer going to go to Atlanta.
And I believe that's the first one of the game for the Atlanta Dirty South Derby girls.
And Lemon through as well now as the pack starting to separate a little bit now as Peace Corps looking for points. Edges through the outside corner in turn number 3, calls it. Let's see about points. Looks like Atlanta came away with 2, and Jacksonville off the board.
First scoreless jam for Jacksonville in the game as well. About 25 and a half minutes left to play as we get into jam number 4.
Once again, as we said, these 2 teams already have their places cemented in Portland. Now we're going to see who skates away with the top seeding out of this bracket.
And that gold color hardware,
and that
right?
Gold hardware. Meanwhile, that silver hardware, which is just as awesome, will go to the non-winner of this game. We'll find out what that will be at the end. Meanwhile, here we go. La Maldita is the jammer for Jacksonville. Troublemaker jamming for Atlanta.
And that is a lead jammer call for La Maldita of New Jack City Rollers.
Both jammers have escaped the pack and are scoring eligible. Pack starting to move a little bit now, heading into turn out of their turn number 2 as La Maldita throws the hips forward and calls it. But it looks like both jammers, well, no, nothing for Atlanta.
Nothing. And
nothing.
I saw a celebration from the defense there. 0-0 is a jam.
That was a defensive win.
Yep.
Right there.
Preventing those points. So your score right now, Jacksonville with 26, Atlanta with 2, under 25 minutes left to go in period 1. And thank you to 888, one of our sponsors this weekend. Extra large helmets don't belong on small size heads. The certified sweat saver is a better fit and a safer fit. That's 888.
Lining up here, jam at number 5 underway, Sweet and Sour with the star for Atlanta. Jamsterella once again jamming for New Jax. And the whistle blows in the pack. A forearm penalty assessed to Sweet and Sour. Power jam now for Jamsterella, who now picks up lead jammer. So good opportunity here for New Jax to maybe open up that gap a little bit here with Sweet and Sour in the box for about 20 seconds now. Jamsterella through, scoring pass complete for 4 points.
Bit of a friendly fire tumble in the apex over here.
Only 2 blockers on the track right now for Atlanta.
Yep, and they're spread apart. Jacksonville is making sure of that. Can't coordinate their defense right now.
Jamsterella getting low in that turn number 1.
And a knockout by number 18, that's Thumper.
And that forearm picked up by Thumper on the contact. So Atlanta getting some help back now with the S1 penalty box starting to empty a little bit, but meanwhile, Jamsterella makes it another 4-point pass. So 12 points now as we roll here for New Jax.
And Sweet and Sour into the pack, working on that initial trip out of the penalty box.
Jamsterella with a huge hip whip off of Murph right there in the turn 1-2 area.
Hitting the floor in this jam, PR.
Jamsterella for another 4. 16 points now for Jacksonville. Everybody hanging out in turn number 2. Jamsterella joins the party. Now tries to escape through the front of the pack. He does so, and another 4. Even 20-point jam now. I'm not sure if that's the highest jam so far or one of the highest jams so far. But it's close. If it's not the, it's close. All right. I think I'm on right there. Thank you, Shady Hawkins, for verifying my claim.
So Atlanta putting their tripod together at the front of the pack, but cannot stop the scoring onslaught by Jamsterella. 24 points on the jam, holding Atlanta scoreless. 22 and a half minutes left to go.
So that hits our benchmark for high jams so far, but still 22 minutes and 25 seconds to go. So a lot more time to get a lot more high-scoring jams in this one, Trek.
Your next jam brought to us by 187 Killer Pads, often imitated, never duplicated. Stick with the best, 187.
Whistle blows, away we go. Sweet and Sour again starting in the S1 penalty box. Power start for Center and New Jax.
In addition to all those points on the last jam, it was also the longest jam of the game so far. Sweet and Sour starting in the box, so power start for New Jax City and lead jammer status for Center.
Pack still hanging around the jam line now as Sweet and Sour standing in the S1 penalty box, so should be released within the next 10 seconds. Center tries to go outside, door gets closed. Furious footwork there in the middle of that pack now as Center digging in the front defense. Blackjack trying to put a block in the front now, but great block in the middle right there by Bala Shot Kala. And another penalty picked up this time for Atlanta, so one blocker in that S1 penalty box.
One for New Jax as well now.
Center does make the pass for 4 points. Another Atlanta blocker to the box.
Looks like we might be having some penalty trouble in period 1.
That is
PR.
Yes.
Easy pass on the outside line for Center. That's going to be 8 points on the jam as we roll, as you say.
And a star pass completed by Atlanta to Blackjack. And the Atlanta crowd cheering their approval there as Blackjack takes the star. Pack moving now toward turn 3. Jam will be called off. Looks like a 12. Let's see, more points there. Looks like it might just be 12. So 12 there for New Jax. Give them 62. Atlanta still sitting at 2. But still a lot of time. 20 minutes, 41 seconds left to go in our first period here in our championship game.
Bit of a shutout so far.
Yes.
On Atlanta. They've only been able to put points up in one jam in period 1 so far.
A testament to that great defense set up there by New Jax.
3 scoreless jams for Atlanta for both teams.
Off we go. Oh, here we go. Lead jammer now. Jamarillo takes the star for Atlanta and takes the lead jammer status. Meanwhile, Lemon trying to catch up now as both jammers have escaped the pack.
Atlanta trying to slow down the defense here, get the team together, and we might have an equipment
It might have been an equipment stoppage there, so we're going to go ahead and stop that jam right there. So
it looked like their skates kind of tangled up. They had to work them apart. So
we'll have a scoreless jam right there. We'll head into jam number 8.
We did clear out the S1 penalty box, though. S1 Helmets is proud to sponsor the Texas Roller Girls and the travel teams for TXRG. You can find out about the S1 Lifer helmet at s1helmets.com.
Again, talking about how these two teams got here, at least in most recent history. Jacksonville with the win in the semifinals over a very game Red State team who took third place. That was a 257-91. But Red Stick, of course, the game previous to us, took the third place prize over Texas. And then, of course, Atlanta with the upset over Texas in the semifinal round to make it here.
Yeah, exactly right. And Red Stick, what a stratospheric rise.
Yes. A very impressive run. I know a lot of the Red Stick people very closely because I'm right close by there in New Orleans, and very impressed by their performance this weekend. I think they impressed a lot of people here this weekend.
Absolutely. They impressed me. So we've got an official review being called by Atlanta.
We will wait to get the skinny on that, and we will let you know when we know. Meanwhile, this official review is brought to us by one of our great sponsors. I'd like to talk to you about our friends at ATX Women's Sports Pub. Austin's new sports pub is exclusively supporting women's sports. This is ATX Women's Sports Pub. But all fans are welcome. Coming fall 2024, visit them here in the Vendor Village if you're here in the venue for the next, 50 minutes or so while we're having this last game.
We got awards after that as well.
We do.
So 62-2 is your score right now. 20 minutes left to go in period one. We're headed into jam number 8 after we get the result of this official review. Looks like everybody's in the middle talking about it right this minute.
I want to give an awesome thank you as well to our officials who have been doing great work here all weekend long in every single game. Our NSOs, our referees have been doing amazing work. We could not do this without you, quite literally. So thank you to all of our officials who have been working all weekend long here in Austin.
There's a question in the chat. Is Aaron Jackson on the Jax roster today?
No.
Not rostered today. So Peace Corps is the only scorer for Atlanta so far, and Jamstarella has the honor of being the highest scorer for New Jax, 28 out of their 62 points.
Y'all have been really good here in this chat early on, watching all the great comments here, some shout outs for both teams here. And
okay, 1 point awarded to Atlanta as the result of that official review, and that's what we know about it.
There we go. Now we're skating again here. Jam number 8, Merchant of Menace, wearing the star for Atlanta. La Maldita is the jammer for Jacksonville.
Atlanta with a nice defensive formation at the back of the pack, but La Maldita able to find a path through. Outside line, just one to beat at the front. Big takedown.
Quickly right back up. Wow, like made of rubber there. Lee Jimmer will go to La Maldita.
And the Merchant of Menace working on a 2-wall at the front of the pack. Really effective defense by New Jax City working together.
Atlanta with the brace wall part in the back there trying to keep La Maldita at bay. Now everybody kind of going back to the jam line. Oh, Maldita knocked to the infield courtesy of Blackjack. And that jam will be called off from the infield by La Maldita. But now before 3 more points rung up at that thumb there. Hiding for New Jax, 3-0 jam, gives them 65. Atlanta still at 3. Just at 19 minutes left to go.
Okay, so that 1 point that was awarded after the OR was called was already in the process of kind of getting communicated to the scorekeeping table. So Atlanta was not charged for the review that they called, basically as though it were retained. Thank
you for the explanation. And we go with jam number 9, Jamstarella picking up lead jammer quickly here for New Jax. Peace Corps is the Atlanta jammer.
Taking a tumble in the middle of the pack there as Jamstarella comes in for points.
Tight pack here right at the pivot line. Peace Corps knocked to the infield, going to reset. Jamstarella still hanging up right in the middle of that Atlanta defense. This is almost like reminding me of the old flat wall defense for a second there. The entire track was taken up, but Peace Corps is able to skate through, but it's not lead jammer.
Atlanta losing their pivot to the penalty box.
Yes, Jamstarella threw for a scoring pass this time, 4 points. And a whistle blows in the pack. Track cut assessed in the pack to Jacksonville. Blocker to the penalty box. Jamstarella looking for a scoring pass again. Peace Corps able to skate around for 4 points there for Atlanta.
Had a lot of trouble getting past Snot Rocket Science on that trip.
That is something I hear a lot these days.
Yeah.
Snot Rocket Science, a very, very adept blocker in that pack there for New Jax. Jam is called a 4-4 jam. Jacksonville with 69. Nice. And Atlanta with 7.
Yep, 17 and a half minutes left to go in period 1, and I'd like to say thanks to Frogmouth. They're the world's market leader in roller derby uniforms, providing derby love for every size, age, and gender.
Great comment here in the chat by Jam. So I want to be Dita when I grow up, skating for 2 years and already going to champs. So proud of her. Indeed. Off we go here, jam number 10, Troublemaker with the star for Atlanta. Center is your Jacksonville jammer. Center around the outside, one block of the beat. Edges on the outside, does pick up lead, taking a spill. Troublemaker gets around, though. Still trying to make the initial pass, though. Gets around Murph for the inside pass.
So Atlanta is out, but not lead. Jax has lead, forces the call off there. No points for either team.
No points.
Let's take a look at the penalty board, see what we got. Oh, we got nothing. No updates happening on the penalty board, so we'll see if we can get that working.
We may not be able to, but we'll look into that and get back to y'all on that.
It's funny, it works some games and then it doesn't for others, but lining up for jam number 11.
Still a nice score there, 69-7 for Jacksonville in favor of Atlanta. Here we go, jam number 11. Yamarillo is the jammer for Atlanta. Lemon with the star for New Jax. And Lemon to the inside is not lead jammer. So it looks like it's still up for grabs if Yaramillo can get in there and take it. And no pass, no penalty. We will not have a lead jammer. We're going to go the full deuce here. 2-minute jam coming at you. Scoring pass completed there by Lemon for 4 points.
Skaters love a 2-minute jam on Sunday, right?
Right, don't they? We've been skating all weekend. What's a
Feels
2-minute
great.
jam, right?
Love it.
Just testing everybody's endurance, that's all. Lemon almost around. Sheds the last blocker there for Atlanta. That was Prim Reaper. Gets around for 4 points.
Prim Reaper was such a difference maker yesterday in the game against Texas. Big part of the defense.
Whistles in the pack. Multiplayer block assessed to New Jax.
That's their pivot sitting down in the penalty box.
4-point pass picked up once again by Yaramillo.
You do want your pivot in a 2-minute jam, don't you, PR?
I would think you would, yes.
Yep.
And both jammers through now for scoring passes. Lemon counters with 4 points of her own.
Jax is a lap up here as Atlanta's jammer's hitting the pack right now.
Jaramillo knocked to the infield, trying to reset back there in turn 4. And whistles in the pack. Looks like a no pass, no penalty signal by one of the OPRs, or a penalty assessed to Atlanta. So blocker to the penalty box. Lemon through for another scoring pass. Now looking at 16 points as we roll here for New Jax. Jaramillo knocked toward the outside line, but stays in bounds.
Jax putting together a terribly frightening tripod at the front of the pack to contain Atlanta's jammer.
Testing Jaramillo's elasticity there, trying to stretch around and stay upright as the whistles blow. It's like 4 points for each jammer there. 16-8 jam in favor of Jacksonville, but we have an official review being called, I believe, by Atlanta. I will let you know if I'm right. Yes, New Jax called it. I'm sorry. We will see what that's going to be about and let you know. That official review is brought to us by who, Trek?
Let's say it's brought to us by Minuteman Press. They printed all of the programs, the flyers, the posters this weekend. Everything looked amazing. So if you're in
very high quality production,
the Austin, Texas area, look up Minuteman Press for your printing needs, and we thank them for their support this weekend.
So clock frozen at 14 minutes, 10 seconds. Both teams still have all of their timeouts left, and Jacksonville with using their review right now. Atlanta was not assessed their review earlier, as we talked about for that point addition. So they still have their review as well.
We got someone in the chat here. It's Lexi Pro wanting to give a shout out to La Maldita and Felony Fat Bottom from your Orlando roller derby family.
Hey,
so
Orlando.
Florida love there.
Florida love.
And let us know where you're watching from in the chat. Let us know who you're rooting for. We love to see it. And thanks for tuning in for the gold medal game. Game number 16 of your South Regional Tournament. Yes,
it's been a very, very exciting weekend here, Trek. We've had so much fun calling all these great games. So much great derby has happened on this track. We brought it back to the birthplace where Flat Track Derby was born, right here in Austin, Texas.
It was so neat to have Electra Blue on the crew this weekend. And
we're skating on her track as we speak right now.
Hydra in the house today.
Yes, a lot of Texas OGs and alumni are here.
Yep, they're out at the tailgate now, I bet. Having some fun. But we have had some internet connectivity issues here in the venue.
Yes.
I know people have experienced kind of a choppy feed at times. I wanted to let you know that these games are being recorded at full quality
Yes.
without any of those streaming difficulties, and those games at full quality are going to be posted as
Yes.
quickly as possible after the tournament. So if there's a game that you missed or a game that you wanted to see a little bit more
Yes.
detail on, hang tight. Texas Roller Girls is going to post all of that beautiful footage as soon as possible, and we'll be able to go back and re-enjoy this wonderful tournament.
And I want to thank our awesome friend and fellow announcer, Thin Mint, for doing a lot of the heavy lifting here on this video production. They've done a great job all weekend with it. We could not have done it without them.
And then, under all the stress and pressure, they also announced this
Yes,
weekend
right?
and did a great job. Beautiful bean footage,
Yes.
that's right. Roll it.
Thumbs up and thank you to Thin Mint.
As soon as the tournament's over, you'll be able to roll that beautiful bean footage. And we encourage it.
Do. Looking at our chat right now. Oh, Marcia Furman says, I'm rooting for Trek.
Oh, Marcia Furman, hello. That's my skate park buddy from Washington, D.C.
So we're still waiting. Looks like the refs are going to be speaking to the teams now, and Ref Venture will be explaining the results of that review, and we'll find out. When we find out, we'll try to get y'all to find out. Our awesome producer, Shady Hawkins, is going to try to intercept the intel.
We got a note from Jonathan in the chat saying, so far, this one's streaming very nicely.
That's
so
good to hear. We
glad to
appreciate
hear that. Yeah, I think we're at the mercy of the cellular network availability of the hotspot that we have going here. There is no Wi-Fi or Ethernet connection available in this venue.
I know a lot of people like to compare production values to past events and things like that. Every event's different. Every structure is
venue
different.
is
So
different,
we ask for your patience and your understanding of things like that. Off we go with jam number 12, Merchant of Menace with the star for Atlanta. La Maldita is the jammer for Jacksonville. And Shady, what happened with that official review?
So it looked like Atlanta Roller Derby was looking for a skating out of bounds call New Jax was looking for a skating out of bounds call on the Atlanta jammer. That no call will stand, and New Jax has lost their official review.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Shady. Back to the action here. Still no lead jammer yet, but Merchant of Menace and La Maldita are trying to prove me wrong. Let's see who does it first. La Maldita finds the inside lane, and it looks like it will be La Maldita as lead jammer for New Jax.
A 70-point chasm opening up between these two teams right now, PR, as the period clock winds down. We're in the second quarter of the game right now. And La Maldita doing laps.
We are in that second quarter. I like saying that. Once you pass that 15-minute mark, it's technically the second quarter.
You know, the game kind of changes as you get into period one. I think there's a quarter feeling when you're on the bench, and sometimes you see it here from the announcing booth as well.
I'm sure. La Maldita leaning on that Atlanta wall in the front of that pack. Meanwhile, great job by New Jax in the back, keeping Merchant of Menace from trying to edge around that outside line. But now some extra assistance coming maybe up front now, as they were trying to bridge for a second there, but now everybody going up front.
New Jax got a little out of play in the back of the pack there and had to move up. La Maldita having trouble with this pass.
Great defense here by both teams, really. Both jammers are getting kind of stuck right now. Nobody really able to get any kind of ground here, so jammer's going to get called off.
Yeah, La Maldita was sitting on 4 points there, even though not able to make it out of the pack.
So that'll put New Jax at 93, Atlanta at 19, 12 minutes, 20 seconds here to go in our first period. Remember, this is for the gold and the silver. Red Stick skated away with the bronze, the third place a little while ago, so now trying to figure out who will be our top two. Well, our top two seeds will be one of these two teams, but who will get the higher seed.
Yeah. Got a comment in the chat about Gucci, who is not geared up for this game, but is on the bench helping
Gucci
out with the
Mane
coaching.
Is sitting, so Gucci is assisting with the coaching here. Off we go here in jam number 13. Who we have jamming here, Trek?
That is Jamsterella for New Jax, taking on Peace Corps for Atlanta, and Jamsterella out with lead.
Peace Corps really getting tangled up by this New Jax defense. Getting some help now, trying to get a little bit of a push forward there by Cancer Candy.
Ooh, a nice bump out of bounds by the pivot for Atlanta. That's Cancer Candy with the takeout.
And through the pack now, Peace Corps able to make the initial pass, but looks like Jam's going to get called. Oh, I think it was called off.
Yeah, Cancer Candy with a lot of impact to the back of an opponent. Headed to the penalty box right now.
Looks like everybody's at least getting up. Looks like everybody's going to be okay. That's good to see. That will stop the jam right there. 3-point jam, as we said, for New Jax. 96 is their score. Atlanta with 19.
Thank you to Create and Skate Factory for their support this weekend. If you need a gift for the skater in your life, get skate-themed art, stickers, gifts from Create and Skate Factory. This is a passion project by your fellow Derby friend Jukebox. So check them out online, Create and Skate Factory.
We're now in an official timeout here, freezing our clock at right at 11 minutes to go.
Wow, New Jax has not found an opponent yet that they cannot open a huge lead against in the first period.
That is a testament, one, to the very strong defensive structures they're throwing out there, two, to their very, very deep and very, very talented jammer rotation.
Yeah, you don't get to be the first seed in a tournament like this.
Yes.
Relying on only one jammer, like, for example, Aaron Jackson.
Exactly, right.
Aaron's not rostered today, but New Jax completely dominating the first half of this game against a very strong Atlanta team.
Yes.
So it takes a whole charter, it takes a whole league to get a team like the New Jax City Rollers to the championships game and to championships in Portland as well in November.
I want to give a quick shout out and a huge thank you to our hosts of the here, Texas Roller Girls. They have been outstanding hosts here this weekend. They have put on an outstanding tournament.
It's really felt like a little piece of history, hasn't it?
It has, for a lot of reasons. And we've talked about a lot of the history all weekend long here, especially with the Texas Roller Girls. With a lot of the Texas alumni and a lot of the OG announcers and skaters and NSOs and reps and volunteers being there to kind of celebrate. And it's been very, very fun to just be a part of that and a part of everything going here on the track this weekend. It's been an honor to be a part of all that.
Yeah, and a big thanks to our tournament head announcer as well, DJ TJ.
Yes, TJ.
Doing a great job bringing in a wonderful crew of commentators together to bring this weekend to you over the stream and to the audience here in the house. We appreciate the work of a THA, and you know a lot about that, right?
As a THA myself, I can appreciate it, and TJ has done an outstanding job in wrangling all of us and getting us here and being our leader, fearless leader. TJ, we love you. Thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
Checking out our chat really quick while we're waiting to get back to play. I see, let's see here. Go back a little bit here. Yeah, we talked about Gucci Mane not being rostered today for Atlanta. Go back a little bit. So a lot of shout outs for everybody. I see Let's Go Lemon from Dungeons and Drinking. Go Cancer Candy.
Yeah, Cancer Candy in the box right now.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere right now because they're sitting in the chair. So still got a few more seconds in there to sit before they can be released from that S1 penalty box.
The official timeout continues.
Just trying to get everything in accordance so we can get back to skating. It looks like we might be getting back shortly, I think. I see.
Yeah, someone headed over to the score-keeping table. One of the officials, alt official, it looks like, headed over there. So
our head ref is there, too, as well.
We may have some points adjustment.
We'll see. And if that happens, of course, we will relay that to you, and you should see it on your overlay.
So, again, what we're seeing here in the gold medal matchup is the number 1 seed Jacksonville in black today, taking on the number 3 seed Atlanta. Upset last night. Atlanta taking the win over Texas, landing in this game and landing a bid to championships in Portland.
Both of these teams will be in Portland this early November for championships. We are so glad to have postseason play back here in the WFTDA. We've had some really great regional work, all of the regionals, the ones in North America. Also, we had the one in Europe and the one in Oceania. It's been so much fun watching all these teams play again. It's good to be back in that postseason feel. Like you're going, everything's going to culminate at champs, the biggest, grouping of all the top teams in the world.
Cancer Candy gets sprung from the penalty box. There's a substitution, which means that was an egregious something or another.
It may have been an escalated penalty. We're going to find out and see what we can get you on that. But regardless, it looks like we will not have Cancer Candy for the rest of the game. I can't confirm that. We will get. I think Shady Hawkins is checking on that right now. So
Cancer Candy skating off the entire. Yeah,
looks like Blackjack will serve the penalty time for Cancer Candy.
Yep. So a substitution in the box for Cancer Candy, who has been expelled.
There we go. So looks like we're going to get everybody back up. Here we go. 5-second call is up. Derby is imminent. And I see Troublemaker with the star for Atlanta. Center is the jammer for New Jax. Center out front quickly on the outside. Lead jammer goes to Jacksonville. Pack still moving toward the pivot line as Troublemaker tries to go outside. Now to the inside. 2 blockers to beat up front now as Center, picks up a track cut call. That will give Atlanta a power jam.
And that is a lost lead for New Jax,
Yes.
so we are going to go the full 2 minutes. Troublemaker just one to beat in the front. The pack picks up speed.
Troublemaker, very adept jammer, so going to try to take advantage of that power jam opportunity. Makes the initial pass, now looking for points. Pack moving through turn number 1 now. Troublemaker looking on the outside. Now dodges to the inside. Jacksonville trying to keep the defense up front in front of Troublemaker. Great job by Murph there, knocking Troublemaker to the outside, but a quick reset. And I think Murph was trying to draw a track cut and does. Troublemaker going to go to that S1 penalty box. And will serve the full 30 seconds now as Center was released a few moments ago.
And that is the only lost lead for the New Jax City Rollers in this game so far. 4 points going up on that scoring trip, and Center coming around quickly for another scoring pass.
So now a power jam in favor of New Jax. Center through the outside, does get that full pass, 4 points in the air. We'll play out the last 30 seconds of this jam. Center tries to bump up to the back of that pack. And now tries to go outside. Have to quickly reset. A penalty in the pack. Forearm call against Atlanta. That will take a blocker to the S1 penalty box. Center trying to work here in the last 10 seconds of this jam.
Yeah, Troublemaker comes out of the penalty box and meets up with Jacksonville's wall at the front of the pack.
Troublemaker back into play, trying to dig in that pack, get some points before the jam is called. Does pick up, looks like 3. And looks like a 12-point jam in total for New Jax. Gives them 108 now over the century mark. 22 for Atlanta.
Under 9 minutes left to go in the first half.
And again, jam number 15.
And our next jam brought to us by the on-site tournament wellness team. This is Body Breakdown. You can get massage body work and IV hydration sessions from Radiant Hydration and Wellness.
Heavy team timeout being called by Atlanta, stopping our clock at 8 minutes, 34 seconds. And allows me to also talk about another great sponsor. Let's talk about Damsels Who Discuss. Shout out to the podcast, Damsels Who Discuss, for donating tournament MVP trophies here this weekend. If you give them a listen on your favorite podcast, they also had a table here in the Vendor Village. That's also one of our fellow announcers, Nikki Tricky Savvy, involved with that. So please give them a listen and support them, and you can find them on all your regular streaming podcast locations.
So we were talking about champs a little bit ago. We're getting excited. It's all the way in November. Why don't we talk about who's headed there? So coming out of the Northeast region in North America, first place arch rival, second place Montreal, and third place Gotham.
And in Europe, we have first place, of course, Crime City, second place Roller Derby Toulouse, and in third place was Nantes Roller Derby. Oceana took Victoria, came out of that one, and then Adelaide is the second place. So what about the West?
The West region in first place was Rose City, second place Denver's Mile High Club, and third place Angel City, Hollywood Scarlets.
That is a stacked lineup, and of course now we're going to add Jacksonville and Atlanta to that list. So
exactly,
champs is going to be so amazing.
It's going to be good. Yes. It's going to be the first time we've been fighting for the Hydra since 2019.
Yes.
The Hydra Trophy's just been chilling in Portland.
It's been 84 years. It's been a long time. It feels like 84 years, but we are back in postseason. We are back in champs in November. Here we go, Jam 15, Sweet and Sour with the star for Atlanta. Lemon is the Jacksonville Jammer.
New Jax has been so successful with lead jammer calls in this game, more than 85% of the time getting lead jammer.
And Sweet and Sour to the outside. Lead jammer going to go to the Dirty South Derby Girls.
Sweet and Sour had such a good game yesterday, PR. It's good to see lead jammer in the hands of Atlanta on this one, but a huge hit.
Coco Fry with the big hit on Sweet and Sour. And that's going to force the call off there, but that was a huge impact in that pack.
Wow.
And it looks like Jacksonville does come away with 1 point in that jam, so 109-22 now the lead for New Jax.
So Jacksonville with a steal there, as Atlanta did have lead jammer status. 7.5 minutes left to go in period 1. Your score right now, 109 for Jacksonville, 22 for Atlanta.
And we're going to have a official timeout. That official timeout is brought to you by Frogmouth. They're the world's market leader in roller derby uniforms, providing derby love for every size, age, and gender. Frogmouth's also a skater, woman, and worker-owned small business in Austin, Texas. It specializes in handcrafting custom uniforms and practice wear for roller derby skaters. So check out our friends at Frogmouth.
Seen a lot of love for Candy in the chat. We've got Free My Girl Candy. We want Candy back.
I keep seeing free candy in there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
who's giving away free candy? I want some. I'm hungry. It's been a long day.
No star passes so far in the game. Jammers have been going it alone a little bit. I've seen some star stashes, but
That's actually really telling. Is there's been a lot of star passes in a lot of the games today. So for this one to not have any yet, and we were more than halfway through the first half, is telling.
I mean, we'd be seeing them from Atlanta, right?
Yeah, big contrast to the previous games. There, we've seen plenty. I know at least in one game I called earlier, I saw 7 star passes in one quarter by one half by one team.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is usually something that teams practice and get on the same page about. So maybe that's not Atlanta's plan. Maybe they'll do it if it's easy, but it's not their go-to.
Exactly.
They are at a big deficit in this game so far, though, so they might start thinking about that old strategy.
Yep. When that deficit gets pretty big, you got to kind of change something up and see what sparks some momentum.
Now, the win yesterday over Twister City was definitive.
Oh, yes.
However, Twister City was really effective using the star pass to stop the big multi-pass jams by Jax.
Here we go. Here, jam number 16. Jamarillo is the jammer for Atlanta. La Maldita for New Jax. Jaramillo knocked to the outside, and turn number 1 going to reset. And meanwhile, La Maldita stuck again in that almost in the side plate, but edged out for a second. But we have a lead jammer track, and that is Jaramillo.
Star pass in progress for Jacksonville, number 03, Dizzy Izzy.
So as we talk about all the star passes not happening, for next jam we have our first star pass.
There's a name for that, right?
Yeah, the announcer's curse.
That's what I thought they called it.
We say it and it happens. It's almost like we're prognosticators, but we don't really look at it like that. We're like,
we just notice things and talk about it.
It's our job. That's what we do.
Yeah, but that star pass notably was on the side of Jacksonville, so we haven't yet seen one from Atlanta, who is the team who could use that strategy right now in this game. PR 109 for Jax, 28 for Atlanta. 6.5 minutes left to go.
Off we go momentarily. Once that whistle blows, here we go. Peace Corps is the jammer for Atlanta. Jamsterella for New Jax.
We started with 2 in the box for Jax. 1 has returned.
And lead jammer's going to go to Peace Corps.
So Atlanta with a little
bit
of
back block. Back block call on Peace Corps. So now lead jammer will go to Jamsterella on a power jam.
So it looks like Jax trying to goat the pivot at the back of the pack. Running back Thumper. But Thumper's going to stay out of bounds so that there's a no pack.
Jamsterella was leaning real hard there on Bala shot caller. Now moving up to the front. 2 more blockers to beat. There's Bala trying to bridge that pack.
That was a real varsity level pack definition move by Thumper.
Yes. Jamsterella able to escape the pack for 4 points. Now looking for some more on an inside track. Everybody trying to scrum together right there past the pivot line. And back into play now. Peace Corps looking around the outside, but great block by Murph to knock Peace Corps to the outfield. Whistle in the pack. Oh, never mind. Looks like it was blown out.
Coco Fry with a big stop on the inside line. Coco Fry headed to the penalty box for that one.
There you go. Jamsterella trying to edge around from outside to inside. Meanwhile, outside, Peace Corps finding a wide open lane. But the jam's going to get called off as that was the initial pass there for Peace Corps.
8-0 on the jam for Jax, but wow, what a lot of heart coming out of the Atlanta team on that one.
Yeah.
Lining up for jam number 18. 5 minutes left to go. Very physical game, PR.
Exactly. We know both of these teams coming in do have a lot of physicality to them, and they're just putting on display right now, but also a lot of finesse as well, too. So some great mixture there, which you need to kind of have in a game at this level, at this caliber for a gold medal game here at a regional. Merchant of Menace is the jammer here in gen number 18 for the Dirty South Derby. Center is the jammer for New Jax. But Center going to go to the S1 penalty box on a track cut. Power jam now for Atlanta.
But the star is in hand, so this is going to be another 2-minute marathon jam.
Full deuce coming at you. Merchant of Menace does complete the initial.
Let's see what Atlanta does here for offense.
The pack runs a little bit now as Merchant trying to get through the inside lane. One more blocker to beat. Going to get edged in the corner there. Number 9, Bratz, the captain for New Jax Rollers.
Wow.
Now joined up there by Murph.
Super effective lateral defensive work up at the front of the pack.
Excellent penalty kill there now as we do have center back into play for New Jax. Oh, a blocking with the head penalty call on Merchant of Menace.
Yeah, so fortune switch in this jam. Power jam now for Jacksonville. Now we may see Merchant of Menace sitting on some points in the box.
I believe so. We'll find out once the jam is whistled off.
And Sinner had completed the initial pass before
yes.
heading to the penalty box.
Yeah,
so this is also a scoring trip for Jacksonville.
So we could see some pocket points here once the jam is called for Atlanta, if it's called before Merchant is released.
Coco Fry received... Oh, I thought there was a penalty call there, but there wasn't.
Pack still in that backstretch area between turns 2 and 3. Bodies flying everywhere.
Big hits in the pack.
Baller got knocked to the outside, but quickly back in as Sinner is through for 4 points. As we got about 18 seconds left to go on the jam clock. We're going to run the full 2-minute jam here with no lead jammer status.
Coco Fry with another takedown on the Merchant of Menace.
One more time around there for Sinner. 4 more up in the air.
A long run back in process by Dizzy Izzy, and the jam times out. So there were some points for Atlanta on that jam. Looks like 3.
And looks like an official review going to be called, I believe, by Atlanta.
8 points on the jam for Jax. So your score right now, 125 for Jacksonville, 31 for Atlanta. 2.5 minutes left to go in period 1.
We will find out the info on that official review for you as soon as we can, and we will advise you as such when we hear it. But that will allow me to talk about our friends at 187 Killer Pads. Industrial stick materials, unmatched ergonomic design, and unparalleled excellence. Check out 187 Killer Pads.
And I think, as far as, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only upset at this tournament was Texas-Atlanta?
No, there was one more. There was Dallas, and the Rumblebees was also an upset so we had 2 upsets throughout the entire tournament. So I know we had talked about a lot of the other tournaments earlier. We were talking just amongst ourselves during the weekend that a lot of the other regionals tended to be a little chalk. They were a little like the teams you expected to make it through got there.
Yeah, the algorithm could have just sent people.
Exactly. But we did notice too a lot, especially in this tournament, that the predictor a couple of times was pretty spot on some scores. But sometimes it was just not.
It was really not in a couple of cases,
That's the way we always say it. Like, the game's got to be played.
That's why we play.
So, exactly. We don't just play to predict it. We play to play the game. So you can predict anything you want. Once you get all those skaters out there in the track and they skate around for a full 30-minute, two 30-minute periods, you could have something totally off base from what you see in that predictor. So they go by, of course, statistical information. So.
And a comment in the chat from Vicky Glisson, Coco's blocking is fire. I agree.
Oh, yeah. Much agree on that one. We have one there from Terry Sapp saying, I love the Prim Reaper.
And I love the results of an official review,
Tell us.
So Atlanta was looking for a cut track call on the New Jax Jammer. The officials discussed and decided that there was not grounds for a track cut. Therefore, the no call will stand, and Atlanta will lose their official review.
Thank you, Shady, very much for that. So here we go, lined up for jam at number 19. Who do we have jamming their track?
It's going to be Lemon for New Jax, taking on Troublemaker for Atlanta.
Everybody hanging around at the pivot line as Lemon trying to get doing that outside, but great blocking on the edge there by Blackjack, joined there by number 24 for Atlanta. Or 2-4, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong side. 2-4 is Guilty Pleasure. Pack's still in that area right there. Nobody really getting any kind of ground here.
Right, 30 seconds in, no lead jammer yet.
There we go.
As soon as I say that, Jacksonville takes it. Lemon has lead jammer status.
It's like they hear us sometimes. We tell them not to listen to us, but they can't hear us because we're on the street.
So in for a scoring pass right now. Lemon makes it through on the outside line.
Some great blocking here by Jacksonville. Troublemaker finding no real egress. Now going to get escorted rather gently to the outside in turn number 2.
That was gently.
Yes, it could have been worse.
Could have been worse, you're right.
Thankfully it wasn't. But yeah, star pass completed by Atlanta. Blackjack taking over jammer obligations with a big hit to clear out of the pack right there.
Everybody wants to see Blackjack jamming. Oh, jam gets called off. That's too bad, honestly. 8-0 is the result of the jam.
So 133-31 now. New Jax with the lead. Just over a minute to go here in the first period. So getting down to halftime. Heading into jam number 20.
So 102 points is the difference between these two teams. And wow, what a dominant first half by Jacksonville.
Yes.
Atlanta's going to have something to talk about at halftime.
Yes. Here we go with our jam number 20, Sweet and Sour, with the star for Atlanta. Lala Maldita is wearing the star for New Jax. Penalty in the pack, forearm assessed to a blocker for Jacksonville. Meanwhile, Lee Jammer is going to go to Lala Maldita. Pack moving with some speed here, coming through turn number 3 and 4 is Sweet and Sour trying to break through the front of that pack. Gets around Murph, but picks up a track cut in the process. Power jam now for New Jax.
La Maldita sneaks by the last line of defense for Atlanta, and that's 4 points. I guess called it off to ice Sweet and Sour in the penalty box for jam number 21, which is going to be the next one that we see. Brought to you by 888, the certified sweat saver from 888, top of the line safety standards and unmatched fit options. 888.
So we are at halftime, Star Trek. Our halftime score, Jacksonville 137, Atlanta 31. This is the gold medal game here at our final regional of the postseason, WFTDA North America South Regional here in Austin, Texas. We are at halftime. We will come back in a few minutes and give you a little bit of information about what we saw in that first half, talk about that, then get to our second half, and we're going to figure out who's going to skate away with the gold, who's going to skate away with the silver, and then we'll wrap stuff up here. So we'll see you in a few minutes.
Stay tuned.
Live here from Austin.
Welcome back to the WFTDA 2024 North America South Regionals. This is deep in the heart of Derby.
Yes.
Hosted by the Texas Roller Girls. We're live from Travis County Expo Center, bringing you the second half of our gold medal game right now. New Jax City Rollers taking on Atlanta Roller Derby. We got a worm on the track, but we also have some stats for you, PR.
We have some awesome stats. Looking at our stats here. These, I'm sorry, I'm up on the wrong sheet.
My chicken scratch?
Yeah,
You can't read
I
that?
didn't know I'm sorry. I wasn't writing them down, so I wasn't sure.
Let me do that.
Yeah.
So Atlanta with 20 total team penalties. Jacksonville with 11. Thumper is the one in trouble with 4 penalties. All 4 of those penalties forearms. We had a little chuckle about that. Sweet and Sour has 3 penalties as the jammer for Atlanta, and Cancer Candy, of course, ejected for the egregious back block that we saw in period 1. No one on Jacksonville has more than 2. So we've got 3 players with 2 penalties. And another important note about Jacksonville's performance in the game so far, 90% plus on the lead jammer call.
Right. So I think that actually was it looks like it was a late hit that accosted the ejection for Cancer Candy.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you very much for that, Shady. And we talked earlier about the predictor. We talked about the predictor scores earlier. Predictor for this game had New Jax defeating Atlanta 186-113 with a ratio of 2-1. That's really not the case right now, as you can see by the scoreboard. But we still got a lot of Derby left, so Atlanta has a chance of really maybe closing up and maybe surpassing. We'll see how the second half goes. But right now, that 2-1 is being beaten pretty handily.
Yeah, it's more like 4-1 right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So about to get back underway with period 2. And, of course, these two teams already punched their ticket for championships in Portland in November, just playing for the hardware right now.
Playing to see who takes the gold, who takes the silver, who maybe takes the higher seed. I'm not sure, depending on how the seeding goes for champs. We'll find out about that once we're all wrapped up here.
Yeah, we need to get through these regional tournaments, and then we're likely to learn a lot more about what champs is going to look like with a 13-team bracket. That's a new one, right, PR?
It's going to be exciting. All these great teams we talked about earlier who will be in Portland. It's going to be exciting. I cannot wait to watch that action.
Yeah, we do know champs will be 13 teams and 16 games over the course of the weekend. And I know a lot of people interested in who's going to get those buys and if there are any.
As we line up here for our first jam here of period 2. There will be a power start here for New Jax as Sweet and Sour starts in the penalty box for Atlanta. James Torella will be the jammer. All blockers are on the track right now. Sorry, as we go, but James Torella does break through and picks up lead for Jacksonville.
Sweet and Sour standing in the penalty box, about to rejoin play.
And it's like James Torella getting hung up right at the pivot line by the Atlanta defense. Everybody kind of getting that one area now as Sweet and Sour are looking to get through the Jacksonville defense in the back of the pack.
Just a lockdown defense at the front from Atlanta. That's Thumper holding down the brace.
And everybody kind of meeting in the middle there. Penalty picked up by Murph for New Jacks. Now a penalty by
Sweet and Sour. Back to the box. That was a track cut, right.
So power jam now for New Jacks. James Torella breaks through for the scoring pass now, 4 points.
Jax loses another blocker to the penalty box. Ooh, big impact to the back of Prim Reaper.
Forcing the reset there for James Torella.
Prim not happy about that hit.
And second direction of gameplay penalty assessed to New Jacks. James Torella going to go ahead and call it off right there in turn number 1. To take 3 points back to the bench. And that'll give Jacksonville a 7-point jam. A 144 is their score. Atlanta, no points on that jam. 31 is their score.
Yeah, Sweet and Sour with a little bit of a mental game right now in the penalty box. Iced in there, has to start on another power start. And as we mentioned, Sweet and Sour was sitting on 3 penalties at halftime. So now coming out of the 4th penalty as we start jam number 2 of period 2.
See a blocker advantage as we start off right here for Atlanta. And now they get their jammer back into the fray. Sweet and Sour on the outside, quickly picking up lead jammer. Center trying to go to the outside for New Jacks. Does complete the initial pass.
Sweet and Sour coming in hot right now for points. Finds a way through. That's going to be 4 points for Atlanta.
Center right around the edge of the outside in turn 2 again. Does complete the scoring pass for New Jacks.
You know, you'll see a lot of jammers slow down before they hit the back of the pack. Not Sweet and Sour.
Well, Sweet and Sour told her blockers, go ahead and run it. We got to go. Come on.
Yep.
Called it off. Let's see about points. Look at 3 points picked up by Atlanta on that last pass. 38 for them now, 148 on a 4-point jam for Jacksonville.
Yeah, closing the gap a little bit.
So it looks like we will start the jam with a clean S1 penalty box. I can't say what happens after that. I'm just saying we'll start with a clean box.
Thank you to S1 Helmets for their support this weekend, both of the penalty box and the Texas Roller Girls in general. S1helmets.com.
Here we go. Yamarillo is the jammer for Atlanta. Lemon out front and lead for Jacksonville. Jacksonville will lose a blocker to the penalty box. That is Her Majesty.
Big push at the front by Atlanta's jammer. Makes it through on the initial trip.
Lemon trying to work on the inside, going to call it off from the infield. And I see nothing there for New Jacks.
We've had 2 jams so far in period 2, and we've split the lead jammer calls, PR.
Yep. 3 more points are going to be rung up here on the jam. Oh, no, 3 jams, I'm sorry. Yes, I was looking at the wrong thing there, sorry. Yes. So 3 points were awarded to Jacksonville, so I was right there. 151 to 38. Lining up here for jam number 4. And we have La Maldita jamming for Jacksonville. That is Peace Corps for Atlanta.
Peace Corps had a great first half. Super aggressive style of jamming, but La Maldita grabs lead jammer status for New Jax City Rollers.
Peace Corps trying to duck into the inside. Clears the pack for the initial pass, but here comes La Maldita. One blocker to get around, but unfortunately that blocker is Bala Shotcaller, who takes La Maldita to the outside and forces the call off. So it looks like no points. We're waiting. We're having a point conference on the outside. There we go. Points put up there on a no pass, looks like. So 3 points for Jacksonville.
Yeah, 3-0 jam brings our score. New Jacks 154 to Atlanta's 38. 25 minutes left to go in the game.
Here we go. James Torella with the star for New Jacks. Troublemaker jamming for Atlanta. Still barely past the jam line as we're moving here. Murph trying to do a reset there on Troublemaker, but not. Oh no, a track cut will be assessed to Troublemaker. So Murph able to draw back and force the track cut call. So power jam now for New Jacks.
New Jacks playing a lot of offense in the pack to try to get James Torella out, eligible to score.
Murph trying to break up the defense for Atlanta to try to spring that jammer loose. But great defense, great reformation defense there by Atlanta.
Atlanta's killing this power jam.
Yes. As Troublemaker is standing in the S1 penalty box waiting for release. Whistle in the pack. A high block penalty going to be assessed. Oh, that's going to be on Jamstarella, looks like. So now we're going to have another reversal of fortune power jam here for Atlanta, Trek.
Yeah, they always seem to switch out, don't they?
Right?
Full 2 minutes. We got about 45 seconds left to go on this jam clock.
Troublemaker trying to reset now in the back of the pack. Goes to the outside. Takes a hit in the middle of that pack. I believe that was not rocket science. If my eyes don't deceive me. We're on the opposite side of that corner. So meanwhile, Troublemaker is through for the initial. So now scoring eligible.
Yeah, Jamstarella was also in the process of the initial trip when sent to the penalty box. So going to come out and fight for that initial trip right now.
Great, just tight blocking there by New Jax. That is felony fat bottom working hard to keep Troublemaker from getting around. Now Williams Murph. Murph knocked Troublemaker to the outside, forcing another reset.
A back block goes to Jax's defender sitting down. That's number 9, Bratz. Copyright.
And the jam is called. Looks like 4 points picked up by Atlanta. That'll give them 42 now. New Jax at 154, closing in on 23 minutes left on our game clock.
Shutout on the Jacksonville side there, so nice win for Atlanta, closing the differential and under 23 minutes left to go.
So we will start with one Jacksonville blocker in the penalty box. So one blocker advantage as we start off here for Atlanta. And our jam matchup center wearing the star for New Jax, and Yaramillo is the jammer for Atlanta, sorry. And lead jammer will go to center.
Center flying around the track. Meets up with number 21, Coco Fry. Oh, I'm sorry, number 21, Blackjack at the back of the pack.
That jam was called. Looks like we're not going to have any points there. Another nothing jam there, Trek.
Quick stop on that jam. 1 point goes up for Jacksonville.
Oh, there we go. One late point rung up there.
Gotta wait for those points.
These refs like to talk before and after we're done. And
hey,
no, guess what? One more.
We like it. We like to see them talk about it.
I'll take it. Put another point up there.
22 minutes left to go. 155 for New Jax, 42 for Atlanta.
Oh, and we have an official timeout here. We are almost about to get jam number 7 rolling, but not quite. Looks like it might be... make sure everything's ready to go. Oh, they're adding another point. Looks like maybe 2 points.
Make it 2.
Yeah, make it 2. We talked about 1. Let's just put 1 more up there. That was an earned point, so 2 earned points there for New Jax. Now they have 156.
Yeah, it looks like that might have been a box point. We've got 1 in the box for Atlanta. So if you score 1, you got to get 2, right?
Yeah, this is true. Off we roll. Peace Corps with the star for Atlanta. Lemon is the Jacksonville jammer. Peace Corps pirouette to the front of that pack. Does pick up lead, but Lemon able to get around.
So Lemon in the lead, but Peace Corps has lead.
Lemon taking a spill in turn number 4. That allows Peace Corps to jump right back out on front.
Big hit to the outside line by Murph and a long recycle on Peace Corps.
Lemon again able to get around now. One blocker to beat on the inside. Does make it for the 4-point pass. Peace Corps getting taken up, going to reset all the way back behind the pack there. Dizzy Izzy with the knockout there, but no, a penalty going to be picked up. A track cut on Peace Corps.
Yeah, so power jam opportunity for Lemon and New Jax City Rollers right now. 8 points already on the jam, coming around for trip number 3.
Atlanta trying to get the wall set up there as Jacksonville tries to rush the pack a little bit. Now as Lemon takes it outside, now ducks to the inside, hops the apex, sticks the landing, and picks up the 4 points.
Atlanta's contingent in the S1 penalty box standing, blocker released, and it looks like Peace Corps is about to head out back into the track as well.
Pack sitting there in it, turn 3 entrance. Now Peace Corps slams into the Jacksonville defense, being able to break through to the inside, puts 4 points up there for Atlanta.
Peace Corps really good at the juking around defense, kind of fake out type of move. It's really working in this game.
Peace Corps takes a spill there right at the jam line, but quickly right back up on the wheels. And dancing on that inside, cuts through. Doesn't quite do it cleanly. Goes ahead and takes it back to the infield for a recycle. And meanwhile, Lemon scoots through on the inside. That's going to be a scoring pass. 4-on penalty picked up by Atlanta in the pack. That's going to be on Great Wall Regina.
So 4 more points awarded at the end of that for Atlanta. The result of the jam, 20-8 in favor of Jacksonville. Your score right now, 176 for Jax, 50 for Atlanta, and under 20 minutes left to go.
I think we have somebody asking what's the Atlanta Jammer penalty count. We can look that up for you in a little bit, maybe, and get that to you in a second.
Yeah, unfortunately, our penalty tracker not working in this game.
This is true.
So
you're right. Yeah.
Sorry, I'd love to give you that information. I'd love to know that
I would
information.
love to know it too. It's great info. We'd love to have to talk to you all about.
But sometimes things just don't connect. Looks like 4 potentially
4
jammer penalties. And that is that P2 only, or is that?
Or is that in the game?
The whole game.
All right,
Okay.
thank you, Shady. Off we go here in jam number 8. La Maldita through and lead. And we have a jammer in the box. That is the Merchant of Menace. So a power jam now for Jacksonville. La Maldita circling around, not coming back for points. Tries to get around the block set up there by Blackjack and ball shot caller, but not able to get around. Knocked to the infield and will reset. Oh, big hit there at the end of that pack there. La Maldita, and looks like it's going to be a back block penalty assessed on the contact. And we're going to have a stoppage real quick here for a down skater. All right, we are back. Thank you for your patience there. We had a quick injury stoppage there for a second, but everybody's off track and moving well. So hopefully everybody will be okay, and we'll get back to our game here. momentarily as we are lined up for our next jam number 9 of our second period.
Yeah, 178 for Jacksonville, 50 for Atlanta. We've got 18 and a half minutes left to play. And my hot take right now is that Atlanta is not out of this. They have time to get back into the game and close the differential.
Yes.
You were looking at the predictor before.
Yes.
We came back for the half, and it was much closer than the scoreboard right now. So Atlanta with some potential.
It was predicting a 2-to-1 ratio on the scoring. At that point, we were maybe like at about a 4-to-1 ratio. So, but Atlanta is starting to close that up a little bit now, trying to get back into that range where we were with the predictor. So we'll see how much they can do with that in the last 18:36. And it looks like we will start with, I think we have both jammers in the box.
Interesting.
Yes, we do. Both jammers are in their box. Merchant of Menace is standing, but we do have the jammer sitting, La Maldita, for New Jack. So we're going to have a quick release on Merchant of Menace, looks like.
Right, because it was an injury call-off, so there'd be no way for the jammer to have been released.
So it looks like a penalty was assessed there to La Maldita on the contact. So there we go. Merchant of Menace is released. Off we skate. Menace trying to go to the inside. Outside lane, a couple blocks up front there for Jacksonville, trying to wall up there on Merchant of Menace. Great bracing in the front of that wall there, forcing Merchant of Menace out to the outfield in turn 1. And La Maldita now also released from S1 penalty box, so we have both jammers back on track.
Wow, Felony Fat Button making moves in the pack, trying to clear a path.
La Maldita on the outside, clears for lead jammer.
And Merchant of Menace finds a way through the outside line. Clear 4 points right now, coming around, hitting the back of the pack as La Maldita calls off the jam. One single solitary point for Jacksonville.
Those 1 point jams are like the best and the worst, because you're like, all that hard work and never going to, somebody pull 1 point out, but 1 point's all it takes sometimes, depending on what side you are of a deficit. So,
and that's the type of jam that is a win for Jax as they bleed down the period clock on this gold medal game. We've got just about 17 minutes left to go. And Jacksonville with a commanding lead right now, willing to let the clock run.
Exactly. Here we go with jam number 10. Jaramillo is the jammer for Jacksonville. Jamsterella with the star for New Jacks.
Nice. Strength on the inside line. Atlanta grabbing lead jammer status.
Yeah, we have 2 in the penalty box now for New Jacks. So pivot sent in the penalty box now, all with 1 blocker. So blocker advantage here for Atlanta as we roll. Jaramillo through for the scoring pass, picking up the 4 points.
Jamsterella meets up with Prim Reaper at the front of the pack. Individual defense. Drops the star in the process, but picks it back up as Jaramillo in the pack scoring points. Calls off the jam as Jamsterella approaches.
Credit there to Coco Fry. Jaramillo was trying to edge around on the toe stop to dance around that block, but Coco Fry shut it down, sent Jaramillo to the infield and forced a reset right there at the end of that jam. So very nice work there by Coco Fry.
Yeah, she's been doing an amazing job all weekend. Such a standout blocker. I know last night in the game there was outstanding offense from Coco Fry. It was noticeable in almost every single jam that she was playing in. So one blocker in the box there for Jacksonville. So Atlanta with the blocker advantage as we start jam number 11, Peace Corps. See Atlanta jammer center with the star for New Jacks. And that last jam was only the second scoreless jam for Jacksonville in period 2, PR.
Yes, but now lead jammer going to go here to center. But right behind, Peace Corps through the pack as well. Both jammers trying to race back to that quick moving pack. And center through it first, ducks through, picks up a few points there before calling it. Let's see how much. 3 points picked up there by center. 182 now the score for New Jacks. Atlanta at 57.
The game's been physical the entire time. I feel like the pace is picking up a little bit, though.
These packs are moving a lot quicker now with some of these jammers breaking out, and then, of course, they'll tell that pack to run, and you'll see a lot more moving packs trying to evade the other jammers. So, of course, you have those jammer races that are also fun to watch.
Yeah. We've got Lemon for Jax taking on Troublemaker for Atlanta. Troublemaker out for lead jammer status. As Lemon still stuck in the pack right now, makes it through on the initial.
Troublemaker now trying to go on the inside, slips through, backward skating on one skate, clears for the 4 points. Beautifully done by Troublemaker.
And it looks like Atlanta's happy to let this jam run as Lemon's into the pack for points right now. Troublemaker coming in for the second scoring trip. Oh, a penalty sends Lemon to the penalty box. It's a forearm call, so power jam now for Troublemaker.
As we said, a good opportunity now with Jacksonville to help close that gap up now with Troublemaker. We're not sure if it was a forearm or a track cut, but it was one of the two. Regardless, still a power jam for Atlanta. Troublemaker going to call it off from the infield.
Yeah, hit the floor pretty hard there. Called off the jam. But wow, 9-2 is the pickup for Atlanta, bringing their score to 66, playing Jax at 184, and we've got almost exactly 14 minutes left to go.
And a good opportunity now with a power start coming up here for Atlanta. Keeping Lemon in the penalty box. Not standing yet, so still beyond that 10-second period now as a team timeout now going to be called by New Jax. That'll freeze our clock again at 13:47 here in after jam number 12, heading into jam number 13. So yeah, again, this is our gold medal game. We're wrapping up an outstanding weekend here in Austin. We've had such great derby out here. You know, this game differential being what it is right now has been still very amazing by both of these teams. These two, like I said, they're going to Portland for a reason. They've shown it all weekend long.
Absolutely. And these two teams haven't matched up either this year or last year.
No.
So this is kind of a first testing of the waters on New Jax's strength against a top-tier team like Atlanta.
Which is a little bit weird because they're very close geographically. So, but for them to not have played each other, ooh, I like that. I was told something by Shady Hawkins, so were you, and I want to say it. The seedings for champs are coming in July.
Yeah, we need to wrap up these tournaments. And
breaking news.
WFTDA is going to get right to it. We know that, PR. They're not going to wait.
Yeah. Oh, no. They're on it right now. They're sitting there just waiting to do it. As soon as we're done here, we're going to have those seedings coming out next month, so we'll know who was going to be seated where.
Guess what? July's tomorrow, too.
So. It is tomorrow.
Happy July, everybody.
Y'all, it's coming soon.
It's coming soon. Stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, Lemon has the star for Jax up against Jaramillo for Atlanta.
And to the inside, Jaramillo is going to pick up lead. Jammer dancing once again on those toe stops.
Okay, Lemon standing in the penalty box right now, about to re-enter the jam.
And Blackjack trying to throw a big block there to free up some room there for Jaramillo. But it gets tangled up once again, though. Jacksonville quickly able to reform that brace 2 wall in the front.
Lemon meets up with a back wall of Atlanta defense. Not able to contain her, though. Lemon out on the initial trip and coming around for points right now.
Jaramillo knocked down to the infield there in turn number 3. Going to go ahead and call it, seeing Lemon coming up the track. And 3 points run up there for Atlanta.
That brings them to 69. Very nice.
Jacksonville 184.
And held scoreless in that last jam. Under 13 minutes left to go. Looks like we will be starting our jam once again, our S1 penalty box. I don't see anybody in there other than our penalty timers, so we're okay. 5-on-5 as we line up for jam number 14. That is La Maldita with the star for New Jax City Rollers and Peace Corps for Atlanta.
La Maldita meeting up with that Atlanta defense in the front of the pack, trying to shed blockers, gets around, and does so for lead.
Big hit by Coco Fry in
Great
stereo.
minds think alike.
You can't ignore that type of hit.
No, you cannot. That was a huge hit by Coco Fry.
Coco Fry, a real punisher out there this weekend for New Jax.
Now Maldita getting reset back by the jam line now, but coming up now on a scoring pass as Peace Corps trying to get through the front of that pack, but edging on the outside, takes a spill, going to have to come back and reset.
Wow.
These blockers are doing the work in this jam here, Track.
They really are. Everybody seems to be playing offense and defense at the same time.
Prim Reaper bringing La Maldita all the way back almost to the jam line on the reset.
Yeah, bodies everywhere on corner 1 right now. Making things happen. Both teams desperate to fight against this defense.
Atlanta keeping that wall together up front for La Maldita. Every time she tries to edge on the sides, Atlanta shuts the door. And a star pass here by Atlanta to Prim Reaper.
Wow.
Coco Fry picking up a penalty on some contact there in the pack. So again, we have on the star pass, Prim Reaper taking over as jammer for Atlanta. And through the pack on the inside, there goes La Maldita for 4 points. And through the pack, there goes Prim.
I did some phantom blocking there
Right.
in the announcing booth. I leaned into PR.
Throwing shoulders in here. It's very physical on the track. It's very physical in the announce booth
Exactly.
too, y'all.
Announcers get physical too. So 5 points on the jam for Jacksonville, holding Atlanta scoreless, keeping them at 69.
Nice.
10.5 minutes left to go. Headed into jam number 15.
We'll start with one blocker in the box for New Jax. That is Coco Fry.
A lot of love for Prim in the chat. Love to see Prim with the star.
Yes.
But out with the star right now, Jamsterella for New Jax, taking on Sweet and Sour for Atlanta.
Sweet and Sour just digging in the front of that front wall by New Jax. Going to have to reset now. They're getting knocked out in turn one. Meanwhile, Jamsterella mired in the inside. Now Atlanta trying to dig in on the Jacksonville jammer.
Sweet and Sour moving back and forth.
Sweet and Sour is such a fast, sharp-moving jammer in the middle of that pack. Lead jammer is going to go, though, to Jamsterella.
Sweet and Sour just absolutely sat down by Jacksonville's pivot, who is headed to the penalty box. That was a low block.
Sweet and Sour coming through now. Jammer cap in hand, now puts it back on, making the initial pass. Jamsterella still is lead, now is down in the middle of that pack. Going to go ahead and call it.
Yeah, just in the nick of time, stopping Atlanta from picking up any points. Jacksonville grabs 2. 9 minutes left to go as we line up for jam number 16.
And again, it looks like we will start with one New Jax blocker in the penalty box. So one blocker advantage for Atlanta. And Rico, that is R2 Depth 2, a new jammer here for Atlanta this time around. Up against Center for New Jax. And Center, a track cut, gonna get picked up on that inside line, I believe.
Center a little confused there, said, I seated, you know.
She did see.
Oh, she did see. Okay.
So they let her back in. It was
Got
rescinded.
Okay. The whistle and the hand signal had already happened, but
So now Center is through, though, and Center will be lead jammer. And R2 Depth 2 still stuck back there behind the pack. Takes the jammer cap off, maybe looking to pass that star, and does.
another Prim Reaper jam.
No, that
friends.
is not. That is a 2-4-2 actually for Atlanta. That is. Well, no,
Prim
that was
Reaper.
R2 Depth 2. Yeah, but yeah, Prim Reaper. I'm sorry. Prim did take the star. I'm sorry. Oh no, Depth 2 actually had the star back. Okay, I'm confused now.
What happened?
I missed something.
Somehow
Somebody divided by 0.
it
and I'm
must have been the
confused now.
wrong on the scoreboard
It must have
at
been,
the beginning
we
of
were
the
looking at
jam.
the scoreboard, and so
Our apologies. So I don't know who was originally the jammer in that
yeah,
jam.
but
then.
the star did go to R2 Death 2, and the jam was eventually called off. 4 points picked up by New Jax.
R2 was the pivot. Yeah, we figured that out eventually. But yeah, scoreboard.
It took us a second.
Yeah, scoreboard led us astray there. That's all right. 7 minutes, 44 seconds left to go.
That is Lemon with the star for New Jax. Troublemaker jamming for Atlanta. And I think we are correct this time. And it looks like Lemon leaning in as much as she can on that Atlanta defense. And Troublemaker still kind of held it up in the back of the pack. Now going to get recycled lead jammer. Is going to go to Lemon.
Lemon with so much strength, muscling through the Atlanta defense at the front of the pack, coming around for points right now.
Lemon edges through, splits the difference in the pack, picks up the 4 points. Troublemaker still working to try to get through for the initial. Jammer cap in hand there for Troublemaker. But still just cannot find a way around the Jacksonville defense. Pack's being bridged now by New Jax as Troublemaker trying to push forward to get out of that 20-foot engagement zone. But is able to shed the blocker around. Initial pass is complete. Lemon to the outside and call it after making the pass, picking up the 4 points. So an 8-point jam there for New Jax.
So Jacksonville on a little bit of a run. They've had lead jammer status in the last 4 jams, and that's the first time that's happened since the first period. Opening up that score.
Yep.
Atlanta's still stuck at 69. Still nice.
Still nice.
Yeah, it's been about 6 jams that they've been stuck there. 6 minutes left to go. La Maldita with the star for Jax up against Peace Corps. Jumping over the inside line for lead jammer status Atlanta.
Peace Corps trying to get back to that pack quickly now as La Maldita also clears the pack for the initial. Peace Corps going to call it off. Going to get at least 2 on that, I believe. Yes, 2 exactly.
You called it.
Yes.
So a 2-point pickup for Atlanta, closing the gap a little bit. Gets him off of 69 points, puts him at 71. Jacksonville at 203 and broke that streak of scoreless jams.
See, we mentioned the streak.
Yeah.
There we go.
5.5 minutes left to play. PR, again, we're playing for gold medals right now.
Yes, we are.
Jacksonville in control of this game the entire time, but Atlanta still looking really strong on the defense out there.
If we go here, jam number 19, Jaramillo is the jammer for Atlanta. Jamsterella with the star for New Jacks. Jaramillo knocked to the outside, going to have to reset all the way back on a big drawback. But meanwhile, lead jammer will go to Jamsterella.
Thumper with the star pass for Atlanta right now.
And Jamsterella all over the place there, but got through the pack and completed the jam pass for 4 points.
Yeah, having been skating backwards allowed her to see that the opponent who knocked her out also went out of bounds, so able to re-enter.
Great jammer vision there by Jamsterella.
Thumper struggling against Jax's defense right now. Star in hand, wearing the pivot cover. Gets some help from number 143. That's Baller shot caller.
And able to complete the pass around there is Thumper. Jam's going to get called at that point. Looks like a 2-point pass there for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And I believe we're going to have an official review being called by Jacksonville? By Atlanta, by Atlanta,
yeah.
yes.
And Atlanta's defense pretty happy with that at the end of the jam, PR. I saw some celebration about a defensive lockdown. 7-0 was the score, but could have been a lot worse with Jamsterella out there. So
exactly.
Atlanta taking those little wins in this game.
You got to get the wins where you can. Celebrate those victories offensively, defensively. Keeps that momentum up, keeps that confidence up. We move close to that game now. 210-71 is your score. We will find out the official review as soon as we can and let you know. Again, it's going to be so exciting watching both of these teams in Portland. And all the great teams we talked about earlier who placed out of the other regionals is a stack. It always is a stack lineup for champs. We know that every single year. And also it's good to see a few new teams that we haven't seen there in the past.
Coming out of Europe, coming out of I think that's the only tournament that has new teams.
I think so, yeah. I think so, yeah. But it's good to see some fresh blood coming in there. And it's been a bit since we had champs, so, we got to kind of freshen up the pot a little bit. So it's going to be cool to see that all that gameplay there between all these high-level teams. And I know some of them played each other, some of them haven't. So, again, there's never, depending on the score, you may say it's a bad matchup or whatever. It's never a bad matchup at champs. It's just a matchup maybe where the score may not be what you thought it was.
Yeah, and maybe between teams who haven't really matched up and may not even have any opponents in common.
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of calculations and things like that. So it's good to mix it up a little bit in November in Portland, right? Stir it up.
Stir it up a little bit. We got to have a good little mix of stuff happening.
Yeah, exactly right. We're going to have about 4 minutes left to go as we resume play after this official review.
So far, I'm not sure if it's maybe asking for a penalty or not, but there's nobody in the S1 penalty box, so that might change. Maybe it won't. I don't know. So right now, nobody is heading in that direction, and the teams have been notified of the review results. So I'm not sure if anything changed. We're looking at the event. Looks like Atlanta will lose their review. I believe it is blinking on the scoreboard. So, Shady, do you have an explanation?
I do. Atlanta was asking for a back block call on the Jacksonville Jammer. They will not receive that call, therefore the no call will stand, and we are returning to gameplay.
Here we go. Thank you very much once again, Shady Hawkins, for producer extraordinaire over there.
She's not only beautiful and smart, she's funny too, folks.
Yes. Oh, yes.
We love having her.
We love Shady.
That's a varsity level producer right
there.
There for
varsity.
us. We appreciate it.
Here we go. Jam number 20. Stinner with the star for Jacksonville. Then is Peace Corps with the star for Atlanta. And Jammer out front now is Sinner for Jacksonville. Back there in turn number 2. Now a Sinner on a scoring pass. Tries to go inside. Dodges a block to the inside. Can't quite keep it in bounce. Nice job there by Prim Reaper to kind of knock Sinner off balance. Both teams now getting those walls cinched up.
Wow, center finding the sad place at the back of the pack. Backs up, moves around the inside line, and makes it through.
Was not sad for long.
Not too sad.
A little bit of sadness and hopped out and was happy as center completed this pass for 4 points.
Peace Corps out as well, coming around pretty quickly on a scoring pass. That's going to force the call off by center. No additional points going up. So 4-0 on the jam for Jacksonville, bringing them to 2-14, playing Atlanta at 71. 3 minutes left to go as we line up for Jam 21.
We're almost down we're getting down to the wire here. We're almost ready to decide who's going to take the gold, who takes the silver. We know already Red Stick finished third here, but only 2, unfortunately, were able to go to champs from this bracket.
That would have been your extra new team at champs,
It
wouldn't
would have,
it?
yes, it would have been. It would have been
Things
some
would
more
have been
new
different,
blood.
yep.
Yes, but here we go now. Jam number 21, Lemon with the star for New Jax. That is Troublemaker, jamming for Atlanta. Whistle in the pack. I see a back block penalty assessed to Lemon. That's going to get a power jam now to Atlanta. Troublemaker pushing forward. Oh, big hit to the top there.
I heard that impact to Troublemaker's head.
That's going to be a forearm penalty assessed to New Jax.
Yikes.
That's going to go against Dizzy Izzy. And also a penalty now for Troublemaker, track cutting. So we're going to have a jammer swap here. Lemon will be released. Troublemaker will sit for a little bit. Not the full 30, but a little bit.
We've had both jammers in the box in this jam, so we're going the full minute and 13 seconds that remains on the jam clock.
Oh yeah, we do also in the chat. We know there's another newcomer here, Adelaide, to
That's
champs
true.
as well. So
I just saw
and
that on my
I was thinking
list.
about that too. I thought one came out of Oceania as well.
Yeah, the Adelaide ads making their first showing at champs in November, but right now Troublemaker re-entering play. Long bridge back at the back of the pack by Jacksonville's defense.
Yes, and Atlanta in the front just trying to set up shop here on Lemon. But Lemon just sledding, trying to push through, trying to get around Prim. Oh, takes a big hit from Thumper, but able to keep going. Picks up the initial pass now as Troublemaker with star cap in hand, passes it now to Thumper.
And Lemon coming around for a scoring trip right now, hits the back of Atlanta's defensive wall. Bumped inbounds, and a multiplayer block is sending one Jacksonville defender to the penalty box. That's Murph.
Lemon doesn't like, she was very happy with the contact there, but going to get back in now. I'm going to play a little defense here on Thumper.
Thumper all smiles, meeting up with the jammer at the back of the pack.
Lemon tries just to play a little defense here.
Yeah, why not?
The Jam is going to time out here as we do not have a lead, of course, so Jam will come to the natural conclusion.
Okay, just 1 minute left to go in the gold medal matchup. 2 points picked up by Jacksonville. 2:16 plays Atlanta's 71 points as the period clock winds down.
Under a minute, Jam 22 closing in right now. We're almost there. We will have our award ceremony, I guess, of course, after this game to present our medals. A team timeout going to be called by Atlanta. That'll be their second. They'll have 1 left. Jacksonville with 2 left and their official review.
Yeah, it shows some heart to call a timeout right now.
Yes.
Rally the troops over there on the Atlanta side and see what they can do in the final, what could be the very final jam of this tournament, PR, of this regional
whole
season.
Regional, yes, yeah, we are wrapping up. We are the final regional. And the next stop, of course, like you've been saying, all game long, all weekend long, the next stop is Portland.
The Hydra's just been sitting there for 5 years.
Exactly. We need to get the Hydra out of storage and pack it up and drive it on up to the PNW, and we're going to see what happens up there in Portland and see who skates away with the Hydra for the first time in a long time, way too long of a time.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm so happy to be back in postseason play. I know we all are.
Yeah, and I mean there was a postseason last year. It just wasn't leading
to a
championships,
leading for anything,
right?
yeah.
Or it was leading to this year's championships more
yes.
precisely. So, and that is, I think, the plan for the next 2 years.
I think it's
as
going to
well,
be
right?
we're going to have a 2-year break in between championships. So yeah.
So there will be regional tournaments at the end of next year, but then champs will wait for 2 years to come back around.
Off we go here. Our next jam 22, Jaramillo jamming for Atlanta. That is La Maldita for New Jax.
Almost exactly a 3-to-1 score ratio right now in favor of Jacksonville.
So again, they are beating the differential that was listed by the predictor. Jaramillo getting knocked to the infield. Going to try to reset there, but up front, again, Atlanta just digging that wall in on La Maldita. Blackjack serving as the brace, trying to keep everything together. Maldita trying to break it up. Now takes turns leaning in on Blackjack. And then ball shot call in the front. Last block of the beat. Gets around for lead jammer. If we take away on the game clock here, Chuck, this will likely be our last jam. And a star pass to Blackjack.
We love to see Blackjack jamming. All
Of
smiles
course.
coming around.
And we are on jam time now as the jam is called. And we do have an unofficial final. We're going to wait to get everything secured and officially official from our awesome officiating crew. But when that score is officially official, it looks like we will have a gold medal winner. It looks like all cases point there to New Jax taking home the gold, Atlanta taking the silver.
Yep. And Jacksonville excited to see what they do at Champs because they've not met an opponent this weekend that has given them too much trouble.
No.
So looking forward to seeing them match up in Portland in November.
Whistle blows. We are final score Trek. Our final score here in our gold medal game. Jacksonville Roller Derby's New Jax Rollers 218. Atlanta's Dirty South Derby 71. Such a great game. These two teams, of course, like I said, knowing going in that they already had their tickets punched, coming here for the gold medal game and just putting on an awesome performance.
There is going to be a medal awards ceremony after this. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back for that. So stay tuned, and thanks for joining us. Thank you, PR.
Thank you, Star Trek.
And thank you, Shady.
Yes, we will see you in a little bit for our award ceremony.
At least a little bit closer. ROGs. Can we get everybody who wants to be involved in this? Everybody's going to be behind me. You're going to be looking at the camera. I don't know if that's the way to do it.
He knows.
Oh,
Like Shady vanishes.
Yeah.
On Sunday out of nowhere. It says goodbye to like
She did like Irish goodbyes to everybody and just takes off.
Yeah, and I just don't. Like, I'm not gonna do that yet because I'm just not. I'm not. I like being. Also because I've got like a whole ass drive home.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I seriously want to like give like a nod to Slamwich. If Slamwich is
I know,
even if they don't say anything about it.
Yeah, because that is a deserving
Absolutely.
performance.
So that's gonna be my mission right now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to find Slamwich.
All right, y'all, listen up. This is a special day for the Texas Roller Girls because we haven't hosted a tournament since 2007. There hasn't really been a tournament for a while, and we're glad to host it. I am very proud to have talked all weekend for you guys, but it's not about me. I'm Chip Queso, this is Electra Blue, and this is Muffin Tunnel. I'd like to give them some love. Hello? Electra Blue, Muffin Tunnel, let's give them some love. We won't talk too much, but from the humble beginnings of 2003, this woman designed the track. I'm gonna let them talk for a second. You got anything? You got an analogy, Electra? What do you think about today?
Great turn all weekend long. Thank you for Texas Roller Girls for doing this, putting all the hard work in. I know it's been a rough time as the crowd disperses completely.
The crowd disperses. All right, everybody in the building, we are starting the ceremony, so we would certainly love to give everybody love and for you to applaud and give love for everybody that's happening. We were going to do a little bit of history, but I guess we've talked about a bunch of history. We're going to do some awards here. We are going to have the teams come around from this direction to this direction, but first, I want to give some love out. Thank you for coming to our humble tournament. First off, everybody, a round of applause. Come on, and thank you. I'd like to thank the WFTDA, BOD, the Board of Directors members, the Philip Rader, the President, WFTDA. I don't know if these people are here. How many of these people are here? The Vice President, Terabyte, the Secretary, Iron Tyrant, the Treasurer, Lois Slane, and then the General Board members, Bandulance, here all weekend, Tenacious D, Babe Runner, Rhodes Warrior, and Slolo. The tournament director is Flannery O'Clobber. I'd like to give some love to some of the Texas Roller girls that are here that have been part of this. If they're here, please scream or scream for them. Miso Thorny, thank you very much. Ma Voodoo. Grit. Delirium Trigger. Flannery Clobber. Blue Jay. Yellow Fever. Tricks. Aaron Grievances. Mayhem West. Meg Riot. And Megahertz. I would like to give love to all of the teams. The youngest member of this tournament starting in 2012 and just up to 35. Please give some love for Rockin' City. A little further up by 35, and let's give it up for Dallas. Even a little further up by 35, Twister City. Over in that Cajun country, Red Stick. We have, of course, the Tampa Tantrums. Columbia from South Carolina. Chattanooga, woo-hoo. Our second place love, Atlanta, Dirty South. A and B teams. And remember, we had B teams here. Look at all the experience you're getting. Jacksonville. And of course, the Texas Roller Girls. Since 2003. Here the Travis County Expo Center has been our venue. We appreciate the sponsors and vendors up in Winter Village. Hopefully they've gone home with less items. Our tournament heads of staff, that is Darth Bling. Our tournament head NSO, Troglodyte Legitimator. The game's tournament official, Anya Arson. Also, please, all weekend long, all of the volunteers that help sweep the floor, take care of things, make sure the trash is taken out, dragging in chairs, all of that stuff. Our EMTs for making sure people are healthy and safe and all good. I mentioned our track riders, the referees. We do love you, referees. We really, really do. Thank you so much for all you do, NSOs and non-skating officials and all of that. From my heart, we appreciate you allowing us to call this and be goofy and say things and talk about nostalgia because we care about our sports. My crew and the announcers, special love to all of you. And especially the most silent person all week that you didn't know was doing the most, TJ DJ. Sound, technical, and all that kind of stuff. So, we're going to move on a little bit. Before we get to the chance, okay, I'm going to say this real quick because I have a microphone because I'm super stoked about it, and we're here. And this person didn't expect me to say this. They're probably embarrassed because they're super humble. They've come from a Derby background, and they have done amazing things, and we are so freaking proud of this person. And I just want to say it because I'm proud, because we all know her, she's a friend. And that's Erin Jackson is here tonight, and she is an Olympian, and we love her very much, and we appreciate Erin, and we expect her to do big things. So I think that's pretty cool. Just gonna say that. All right. And she happens to skate with you, Jack. I decided not to skate today because I guess she hurt herself. We don't know. Anyway, good job, Jackson. All right, on to it. Earlier here today, who could not make it this evening was Bloody Mary. She, of course, was the 2013 WFTDA MVP in 2013. 2016, she was the president, etc., etc. Cracker Jack, I don't know if Cracker Jack made it, but she is here in Austin, Texas. Also a former vice president, etc. But you know who we do have here? Well, first off, for the WFTDA Board of Directors, Bam Lance is here.
Thank you so much.
All weekend long. And come on, y'all. My good friend, the name of the trophy, the person who is a group of people responsible for making this happen, and we love her very much, Hydra. And like I said earlier, I hope you have enough room. She's coming home with you. She's coming home right now. All right. Have I missed anything? They're like, you take care of this, Queso. So without further ado, Muffin Tumble, who skated this morning, has been every day, has been a skater, a Texie, a announcer. She's gonna give you third place.
The bronze, third place winners, all the way from Louisiana.
Yes, you should.
Red Stick Roller Derby Company. From Alabama, Denny Richardson, Thatcher Booth, Pilot on Fire, I'm a Pusher, Stubby Cat, Pop-Tart, Kazibat, Machu Picchu, Boxing Cleo Smackdown, Sparkle's Fantastic, Little Miss Maggot, Princess Lady Anya, Rolla Dean, Support Staff, Sashay, Reaper, Fun Size. These are your bronze third place champions of North, South America, Northwest Texas regions.
Come on, y'all. Cajun country. Let's hear it for Red Stick. All right. And I know I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again, and you guys might not think it's a big deal, but it is really a big deal. Introducing second place, the person who made the track, made the shape of the track, this mathematics, Electra Blue.
It's just math, y'all. All right, let's give it up for the team that took the Texas Roller Girls out of this tournament. You brats! I love you there. Atlanta Roller Derby Derby South. Dancer Candy, Spring Julep, Ohio, Gucci Game, Color, Shot Color, Pepper, Human Missile Crisis, Blackjack, Guilty Pleasure, R222, Ludicrous, Original Boozy, Troublemaker, Sweet and Sour, Great Wall of Jana, the Moody Phyllis, Grandma Reaper, and Peace Corps. Give it up! Your Atlanta Wheel Derby Dirty South! They're going to jail!
Atlanta has been a nemesis with Texas forever. But when Texas teams traveled to Atlanta, they took care of us like our own. So some special love and shout out to y'all. Plus my sister lives in Alpharetta, so you know.
We also use Rhonda Kennedy, Bernie Joe, Scully, Gucci Man, and Papa Crisis.
Electra Blue, y'all. All right. right. All right. Hey, Aaron, I didn't mean to embarrass you. I hope you're okay with that. I hope you're okay with that. We're just so proud of you. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. We all get to say, I know her. I know her. Thanks. All right. Hey, to Portland, Oregon in the beginning of November to show what the South is about. Your first place team coming in and coming out. Jacksonville Roller over to you. Jax City. We got Dizzy Izzy. Jax City Rollers. Atomic Meltdown, Hair Majesty, Sinner, Buckeye Brawler, Felony Fat Bottom, Zombie, Aaron Jackson, Scott Rocket Giants, Harsh Mellow, Fancy Schmancy, Murph, Little Ass Kicker, Leanne Grohl and Brass. Their support staff, Jeremy Stricker, Woman, and Sojourner. That would be your top seed heading into November in Portland. All right. I dare at the end of the MVP blocker and jammer, everybody can get on for a big group picture. We love to do it if you're left. If you're in the stage, you want to come be a part of it. And it's like the high school picture where you got to pick out of 300 people there I am. One of those, we can do that, all right? So, at the end of that, well, we're going to talk about some MVP blockers and some MVP jammers. This is actually a drill. That's why they won. They do this drill that nobody knows about.
Let me know.
For sure. Can you unplug any of the stuff that's not in use?
Oh, I guess we're going to do this now. We're going to do some MVPs, but I guess we're going to do a big old photo.
I think
MVPs,
this
and then we're going to head to the sign bar